I'm going to change the world, and this is my plan to do so. This video is mainly for my future self, so future Joel, hello, how you doing? But also, if you want to watch this, you might find out your main objective in life, the way you want to change the world. You can use my template to find your own ideas to leave a positive mark on this world. But this will hold me accountable for the goal that I have to live an unbelievably sick life. This will showcase the kind of things I think I'm going to do to change the world. So let's get into it. Now, firstly, planning is a weird concept really, because I think in life you can't really plan out what's going to happen. If I look back on the few years that I've had leading up to this one, I would have never planned for the things that happened. However, planning is a useful activity because it puts you in a positive direction. So I think that plans are useless, but planning is incredibly useful. There's a difference. I mean, life constantly changes. Life's temporary, things pass all the time, things change. In fact, control over every part of our life might be an illusion. But planning sets us up with goals, and goals mean that we act with purpose, and that's what we want here. So this plan to change the world is an idea of what I'm going to be doing in the future to try and do that. But I know that it may change, and that's fine, but the intention will remain. Now, that intention to change the world, let me explain what I actually mean by that. By change the world, my definition is have a net positive impact on the quality of life of as many people as possible in the population, including myself. So this means basically for me to have a sick life and for me to make other people's lives better, as many people as physically possible. And I'm not thinking small here. Like, I'd like to improve the lives of at least 10% of the human population, even just a little bit. And that might sound a lot, and it might sound like this guy's got unrealistic goals. But I think it's kind of sad that in modern society, people are scared to set big goals because they're scared of achieving them. If I shoot for 10% of the population improving their lives, and I only get 3%, that's still millions of people. So why not have the big goal and be driven, be ambitious, and see where we end up? So that's the goal. Improve as many people's lives as possible and live a sick life personally with diverse experiences and just doing cool shit, basically. That's the plan. But how am I going to get there? Well, I've kind of split this up into stages. I made a plan, I made a sort of mind map of each stage, and what I'll do is I'll put a link in the description to a photo of that mind map. But let's start with stage 1, basically, which is the present day. I'm currently 17 years old. I live at home in a fish town in the south of England where not much really goes on. I'm currently at sixth form studying for my A-levels. I make these YouTube videos, but not many people watch them. I'm a wheelchair basketball player and I play in Division 1 and Division 2 in England and do pretty well. And I go to the gym quite a lot. I enjoy lifting weights and building muscle. So, really, the focuses of the present day have 3 specific goals that I put out in this plan. Number 1 is smash my A-levels. And I'm thinking at least AAA in my 3 subjects for that to be completed. Number 2 is train hard, whether that's in the gym to build muscle or on the basketball court to become a better player. And number 3 is to make good YouTube content, get better in front of the camera, have better ideas, have better editing styles, make better thumbnails, all of those things. They're the main 3 goals of stage 1. And for stage 1, therefore, there are 4 or 5 essential tasks that I have to complete on a pretty much everyday basis. And these are the things I'm currently doing and currently checking off as each day passes. And that is number 1, studying/revision. Number 2, training hard, whether that's in the gym or on court. Number 3, making YouTube content, filming videos, editing videos, coming up with ideas for videos. Number 4 is good habits. This is like meditation, journaling, cold shower, going for walks. These things keep me mentally stable, keep me happy, keep me disciplined, keep me focused on what I'm supposed to be doing. And number 5 is presence and gratitude, being here in the moment, trusting the process, and being grateful for my life, as those 2 things are fundamentals of being a happy human being. And being a happy human being is a fundamental of striving for big goals. So right now I'm 17 and I've got 3 main goals for the next year and a half and 5 essential tasks that I have to do very frequently to get there. So that's my main focus of stage 1. And once stage 1 is complete and those 3 goals have been completed, we move on to stage 2, which is university. I'm planning to go to Exeter University to study psychology. That's because I'm most interested in psychology, and you'll see with the plan that I have in the future that it will help me. So, while I'm at university for those 3 years, there'll be different goals. The non-negotiable goal is get a first in my psychology degree. First class honours. That's non-negotiable. That just has to happen. The second one is to keep training hard, keep building muscle, keep becoming a better basketball player. That's just going to be constant over the next 4 or 5 years. Also, making YouTube content is there, getting better at doing that. I'm going to be getting gear in later this year to make better videos, so I'm going to learn how to edit well, make better thumbnails, have better ideas, be better in front of the camera, all of those things, so that will remain a goal. And then good habits are still there. You know, the meditation, cold showers, journaling that keeps me focused, keeps me disciplined, and presence and gratitude are going to be there for the rest of my life, because being happy is always going to be important. So looking at that now, actually, they are very similar to the goals of the present day. The only difference is, instead of smashing my A-levels, it's smashing my degree. So therefore, the central task is going to be similar: studying, training hard, YouTube stuff, good habits, and being present and being grateful for life. So that's stage 2, that's university. Now, obviously very similar to where I'm at now, but I'm still going to be living in the UK, doing my normal kind of thing, but just gradually building up my YouTube channel, building up my knowledge through studying, and building up my body and my ability on court through playing basketball and going gym. So they're the main goals of stage 2. Stage 3 is my 20s. Let me get my notes up, because I have a few different things for this. So obviously I'm going to finish my degree at 21. I'm planning on doing a 3-year degree, and once I've done that, I'll be 21, and I'm hoping that I will be good enough to go and play professional wheelchair basketball abroad. There are many countries that have a professional league where players can get paid, but the main 4 are France, Italy, Spain and Germany. Spain and Germany have the most competitive leagues with the most elite players. Italy's just behind them, I'd say, in quality, and then France is the 4th out of the ones that are nearest me. But basically I want to play in one of those countries. Ideally Spain or Italy, but I'd take France, and I have to just be good enough to get into a team in one of these leagues and earn a livable salary from playing basketball. The way this basically works is, I would get paid to train and paid to play games. I mean, that just sounds unbelievably cool. Getting paid to go into the gym sounds great. So if I can do that, that's brilliant. It relies on me being good enough by the time I'm 21. But if I focus on the gym and focus on basketball, then I think I should be at that point, ideally, if I remain focused. So the first goal of my 20s is to earn a livable salary playing wheelchair basketball abroad in Spain, Germany, Italy or France. Okay. Now at this point, the goals have changed because I've left university. So studying is no longer a goal. Okay. And fitness, you know, going to the gym, getting better at basketball, are all covered by my job. Okay. And this is brilliant, because it means it frees up my time to focus on that third goal that I've had for the last 4 or 5 years at school, which is working on YouTube. I can go deeper into that now, because I no longer have to spend hours a week studying. I no longer have to spend hours a week at the gym not being paid for it, because it'll be covered by my job. And therefore, I will have a lot of time to focus on my YouTube and on other side hustles, which I'll go into later. Because really, over the next 4 years, I just want to get better in front of the camera, have better ideas, those kind of things. But after I leave uni, whatever size my audience is, whether it's 3,000, 300, 300,000, after my degree, my 20s are going to be where I'm really grinding to get that to some place, because I'm going to have more time to spend on it. Now, it might not be just the YouTube channel. I think that in the future, I'd like to write books, do some kind of writing about my view on the world, my mindset, things I've learned, you know, how people can live sick lives, basically. So whether it's books or YouTube or any other sort of side hustle, any other opportunities that arise, they'll be the thing I'm spending a lot of my time on outside of my work. Because wheelchair basketball professionally is not really like a 9-to-5 job. It'll be 6 days a week training plus games, but you can't train for 9 hours a day, because that's not how it works. So it's really only going to be half of my days. And that other half I can spend enjoying myself, enjoying the nice weather abroad, but also working hard on my side hustle and getting that to a brilliant point. Now, what else have I written here? Yeah, I basically just covered it all. Now, basically, yeah, so I want to play basketball throughout the whole of my 20s because I'm young, my body's in that position to do that. Maybe I will keep improving as that decade goes on, so maybe I'll get signed for teams in Spain, which would be the ideal because that's the best league and the best country to be in my opinion. But over my 20s, I'll be playing basketball. I'll be earning a salary through that, and all it needs to be is livable because I live quite a frugal lifestyle anyway. And at that time as well, I'll be working on my side hustles, my books and YouTube. So now, the most important point of my 20s, which is really, really key for the whole trajectory of my life that I'm going to go into, is that by the end of my 20s, I'm financially free. Now, you might ask, how are you going to do that just by playing wheelchair basketball? Well, over my 20s, through my side hustles, my books, my YouTube, I will start earning money passively through monetizing things for my audience, selling books, selling courses, just AdSense on YouTube videos. I will start making money passively. And at the end of my 20s, I'd like to be at a point where I've worked hard enough that I'm now financially free from those things and I can retire from basketball and still live. By financially free, I don't mean a millionaire because that's probably not going to happen. But financially free, I mean you feel settled financially. I know I can leave basketball, leave my career of basketball, still live and still have enough money to work on these projects and sort of scale them up. So that's financial freedom to me. Financial freedom is not to be able to look at a Ferrari and buy it. Financial freedom is to not worry about money. And that's where I'd like to be by my 30s. Now, that was stage 3, is my 20s. Obviously, it's a decade, so a whole lot of things can happen in that time. But the fundamental goals are be a sick wheelchair basketball player, keep fit, keep training hard, and literally double down on these side hustles, double down on my YouTube, double down on writing books or whatever opportunities arise in the future. And obviously my good habits will maintain themselves over those years, and I'll still be present, hopefully, and still grateful for my life, so I can keep my happiness at a sufficient level. Now that's stage 3, that's my 20s. Now let's move on to stage 4, which is age 30 to age 35. Now you might have thought up to this point, Joel, you've just lived 30 years and you haven't really changed as many lives as you said in the beginning of the video. You're nowhere near millions. In fact, you're probably only in the hundreds or thousands with the sort of people you've interacted with and made their lives better just through being nice and stuff. But at this point is where we start to do that exact thing. Up to my 30s, I've had to grind to become financially free and to get myself in a good position personally, get in shape, be happy, make enough money, have some cool experiences, those kind of things. Now we start really tackling the goal of making people's lives better. And how I intend to do that is, as soon as my 30s begin, I'd like to be able to retire from basketball and start a life coaching / psychotherapy company. Starting small and slowly building the business. So that can start with a small clinic in whatever country I'm working in, or maybe I'll come back to the UK and begin one, for the purpose of providing sort of psychiatry, but that makes people sound like it's like mental disorder stuff, which doesn't need to be. But basically sessions where I can talk to people about making their lives better, kind of like clinical psychology crossed with a life coach. Okay, we want to make people happier, we want to make them more successful, we want to make them have better lives, okay? That's the plan, and I'll start a small clinic like that because I'll have the financial freedom to be able to do that. And obviously that will earn money because people will pay, but I'm hoping to have it at a point where it can be affordable and I can still make profit, so we'll see, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But then from that point, okay, I'll do a couple years in clinical stuff myself, talking to patients, talking to clients, trying to make their lives better from a one-to-one basis. But then, hopefully I will have the funds from my side hustles that I worked on in my 20s to scale up this business. And by that I mean opening more centres around the country that it began, probably England, and then across the world. Training new people to be these life coaches / clinical psychologists, hiring them to do the job that I would have done to make lives better. So now not only am I doing this to help a select few people over a period of time, I've got hundreds of people working for me doing the same thing. And then the amount of people whose lives are getting better is increasing. Now, the main focus of this therapy / life coaching will be heal people's depression if they're feeling bad, making them slightly happier and making their lives slightly more livable. It will also be to open their consciousness to new ideas, maybe become a bit more spiritual, open their mind to new possibilities about the nature of reality, things like that. And also just to have a good time with them, be a good source of positivity in their life. Now, at this point in time, there'll be 3 essential tasks for my main goal of setting up this company, and obviously the side goal that's always to have a good life. And those 3 essential tasks will be work-related stuff, whether that's being in the clinic itself, trying to scale it up, those kind of things. So that's the main essential task, is work-related things. The second one will be good habits. Now, obviously, I've stopped playing wheelchair basketball, I've stopped being an athlete, but now that means I'm adding fitness to my good habits. So I will just still be a regular gym goer, exercising, having a good time, those kind of things. But also the meditation, the cold showers, the journaling, going for walks, the being a nice guy, they're all part of the good habits. And then also presence and gratitude is always going to be there, because that's just important for happiness. You want to be happy throughout your life. So you've got to be here in this moment, and you've got to be grateful for what is going on. So that is 30 to 35. I've started this life coaching / psychotherapy company with my financial freedom from my 20s that I've got through my books and my YouTube channel, or whatever side hustle opportunities arise. And now, from 35 to about 60 or 70 is stage 5. Stage 5 is sick, because basically I've reached 35. I have a company that's starting off and it's going quite well. I have enough money where life is secure, and I can start scaling up this business, and that can just keep going for the whole of my life. 35 is where things get really, really good. Like, my 20s are going to be great, living abroad, playing sport, doing what I love and getting paid. And my early 30s would be cool, just like meeting people and working as a clinician, all of that. But from 35 to about 60 or 70 is where it's going to be the golden years, I would say. So what I've written here is I'm going to expand the company, open more clinics, help more people around the world, get into the thousands of people that I've improved their lives. From 35, I'd also like to start a family and be a sick dad. I'd like to have 2 kids, maybe, with a nice woman, and they can come along and enjoy my life with me, do all the cool things I'm going to do. That would be awesome, to set up a nice family unit and just basically be the best dad that I can possibly be. And from this point, from 35 to 60 or 70, I'd like to have diverse experiences. Because say, my side hustle, book, YouTube, whatever, plus my psychotherapy company, say they're making enough money for me to be financially free, and now I'm talking like millions, hundreds of thousands at this point when I'm 35, I can literally do anything I want with the rest of my life. Because yes, I might have to make some key decisions about, where the company's going, but once it's sort of self-sufficient, I've hired enough people, it's making enough money, it's helping enough lives, that really I can do what I want. So I can sort of semi-retire in a way and be like, do you know what, I want to just start a restaurant, or I'm just going to make an album, or I'm just going to write poetry and go and live in the jungle, or I'm just going to basically try and do as many adrenaline-filling stuff like bungee jumps and skydives, or I'm going to start painting, or literally I can do anything with this time because I have enough money. I'll only have to work a couple of hours a week on the company to make enough money to be well off. I can spend loads of time with my kids. My kids can come home from school and I won't have to be slaving away at work like most other dads. I can help them with their homework. I can talk to them about their day. I can spend good time with my wife. We can go out for dinners all the time. We can go and do cool shit together and have a great time. This is why you might think 35 is a very late time to start a family. But I'm putting the time in the years before that to get to the point that when I do have a family, I can be the best dad and the best husband I can be. I can go on so many sick trips to different places around the world. I can take my kids and my wife with them and provide them with those experiences. That's going to be amazing. I want to touch every single region of the earth. I want to meet thousands of people. And at this time, I might still keep writing books. Still making some kind of online content with my YouTube channel. I might start a radio show, start a TV show, make films. I can literally do whatever I want because I have the financial freedom and I have the mindset of I'm not going to settle for, you know, a basic 9 to 5, same job for 50 years kind of life. I want to do loads of diverse things and take my family with me and go and have a cool time. So 35 to 60 or 70 is expand the company, open more clinics, help more people, keep making money, start a family and be the best dad I can be, and obviously the improve lives as much as possible, because this will be happening through my company and it'll be happening through how I interact with people when I'm out and about, through the books that I write. This will all be happening. So and also this is a key point I've not said yet in this part, right? And that's reinvest everything I can to make other people's lives better. Because obviously I'm going to keep making more and more profit money-wise from my company and my side hustles that I've set up in my 20s. But once I've got to the point where it's like enough money for me to live and sort of do the experiences that I want, anything above that, literally everything above that, will be reinvested into opening more clinics or just helping people's lives, charities, you know, providing people with food, providing people with support, literally anything. So all of that money will be reinvested because I don't need a nice car, you know, I don't need really expensive branded clothes. All I need is a nice house where my family can live and I can have the things that I want to have there and enough money to have the experiences I want to have. And that's really not going to be much, guys. That's really not going to be much. And everything above that I make through my business will be reinvested to make more lives better. All the funds will go to making people's lives better. Whatever I may be doing at that time for that goal, you know, everything will be reinvested to make other people's lives better once me and my family are supported. Now, that's 35 to 60 or 70. Obviously, there's not a lot of details about the exact things I'm going to do, but we'll decide when I get there. I mean, things might arise in life that will change what I'm actually going to do, like, you know, health issues or circumstance issues or real world issues or whatever. But basically, that's the plan, is to expand the company, start a family, have cool experiences, be the best dad and husband I can be, and keep helping lives by reinvesting everything that I make above what I need to making people's lives better. So that was stage 5, I believe, 35 to 60 or 70. Now stage 6 is from the age of 60 or 70 till near death. Now why I say 60 or 70 is because that's when I think I'm going to start slowing down. You know, the body will start to struggle. Obviously, it just won't be feeling the same as you do when you're 35, when you're 65. Because that's just human nature and that's getting old and all those things. So when I start slowing down, I don't want to be traveling as much or having crazy experiences as much. I just sort of want to settle down. What I want to do is I'd like to go back to school and do a doctorate or a master's or something, probably in psychology or something on that level. And I'd like to become a university professor or mentor or teacher, basically just teaching the next generation about life, teaching the next generation about a specific subject. And in that way, I'm making more lives better because I'm helping people decide what they want to do with their lives. I'm helping people in an educational way, all of those things. Now, at the same time, I want to be a sick granddad and husband and obviously dad, but my kids probably won't need me because they will be in their 30s at that point. But yeah, be a sick granddad, have great experiences with my grandchildren and have great experiences with my wife, you know, keep having an excellent life with her, whatever we're doing. And just spend my time having good experiences. I'll have the money, I'll have the freedom to decide what I want to do with my life, to decide what I want to do with my day. And I don't intend to slow down and end up, you know, living monotonously in my elderly years. I'd still like to be having some cool experiences and talking to people all the time and just enjoying life, laughing and loving everything I do, really. So that's 60 to 70 to near death. And then stage 7, wait, hold on, where are we now? 4, 5, 6, yeah, stage 7 is from near death to death. So whatever that age might be 90 to 93, it might be 100 to 103, it might be 120 to 123, okay? It's basically the last few years of my life where I'm really slowing down now. I'm very frail, very elderly, but hopefully still enjoying myself. And at this point, I'm going to write my life story, write my memoirs. I'm going to basically have a collation of every single thing that I did in my life, all the things I thought, believed, all the things I acted out, and I'll write it down. And how I'll do that is because I'll have journal entries from literally age 16 to age 103 or however old I'll be. I'll have online content just like this that I can look back on and see what I did in my life. I'll have records in other ways. I'll have started that company. I'll have videos of me playing basketball in my 20s. You know, I'll have whatever experiences I had in my 30s, 40s, 50s and everything like that. I'll have that documented in some way. And I'll write my memoirs. It'll be a massive thousands of page book. But it'll be the story of Joel Clifton that my family can look back on. Anyone who cares can look back on. And really it'll be the way for me to summarise my life and review it at the end as I'm about to die. Also at this time, I've written here to let my family inherit what they need, then give the rest to the means of making lives better that I've built throughout my life. I'm obviously meaning financially there. So let my family inherit what they need so they can be financially secure. You know, my kids, my grandkids' kids, all of that, okay? They need to have the finances they need to be secure. But then from that point, everything else will go into the things I've set up in my life to make other people's lives better, okay? That could be my psychotherapy company. That could be, you know, making more online content like I have been. The book sales and getting books out there, you know, charity work, getting people food and support and all of these things. Basically, I just want to make lives better. I don't really know what will be set up at that point. I know I'd like some kind of clinical psychology / life coaching business. But anything above that I've made, all of my finances will be invested into that when I die. And I hope that I'll have people running that stuff. I mean, I know I'll have people running those things that I trust enough that they'll use that money to keep making lives better. So I haven't only made millions, hopefully, of lives better in my normal life, but also when I die, I'll leave a legacy where lives will keep being improved by the stuff that I have done in my own life. And that's really what it's about. It's about leaving a positive legacy, leaving a positive mark on the world and improving lives and making stuff better for everybody. Now that's death. I'm now dead. So that'll be the end of my life. I can sit back. I've written my life story. I've had lots of cool experiences. I've made a lot of lives better. I've been a happy human being throughout the whole time. And that's it. That's Joel Clifton's story. Now, obviously, I've written some conclusions here at the bottom of my plan. It says, from my 30s onwards, my gradually built ways of making lives better, i.e. psychotherapy company, books, online content, whatever else arises, will expand and touch millions of people in a positive way, even if it is just a little bit. You know, someone might see a video like this and think that they can change the world in their own way and they'll start putting things in place like that. That's improved their lives. Someone might watch a video that I've made, advice to do with, you know, studying or self-improvement or fitness or mental health, and it helps them deal with, you know, the goals they have of a certain grade that they want, or helps them go to the gym and do more efficient workouts, or it helps them improve their life in any certain way, or be a bit happier, be a bit healthier. I'm improving lives. You know, the books that I write in my 20s, people might read those and start changing things for the better in their own life. I've made lives better. People might be entertained by a radio show that I make, or they might come to my restaurant and have a nice meal. I'll be making their lives better. The thousands of people that will use my psychotherapy / life coaching business, that will come in their life in a shitter and be given some advice to take positive movements forward at an affordable price, those lives will be improved by the stuff that I've done. And hopefully collectively, over my 60-year career of whatever, of focusing on making lives better, I can touch that 10% of population. Whether someone's read my book or watched one of my videos or been to one of my clinics or been to my restaurant or heard my music or, you know, read my poetry or whatever, their lives will have been improved in just a small way, even if it's 0.00001%. If I do that for 1 billion people, that collectively is a huge net positive impact on the world. And that is what I'm really about. That is the underlying goal of single thing that I do. And nowadays I'm 17 years old. And I'm such an anomaly because I have this goal of where I want to be at 35, you know, where I want to be at 27, where I want to be at 40. But it's because of this plan, because of this planning process, that I'm moving my life in a positive direction. Like, I work really, really, really hard. And as weird as it sounds, you know, when I'm doing a bit of studying, or I'm doing a hard set in the gym, or, you know, I'm on the basketball court and I'm tired, you know, or I don't really want to make a video today, or, you know, you have just these general, normal human things that are difficult that we have to do. In the back of my mind, there's the future me that's watching this video right now, that's saying, Joel, you have to do this to make lives better. This is your purpose. This is your higher calling, and things have to be sacrificed to do this. So, Joel, watching this, whatever age you may be, I hope you're in that stage of this plan and you're making lives better, or you're working towards that higher goal. Because I am right now, the Joel recording this at 17, I'm working hard to smash my A-levels, I'm working hard in the gym and on court, I'm making YouTube videos, I'm sticking to my good habits, I'm present the majority of the time, and I'm grateful that I can just be here right now. So I hope, future Joel, that you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're on a positive path, and if you're not, and you're watching this video, remember the ambition you had now at this age, and remember the positive things you wanted to do, and go and do it. Go and get yourself back on that path. Future Joel, you've got this, man. You can do this. You've got the potential for an unbelievably sick life. So go and do it. Go and smash it. Go and change lives, and go and have a great time doing it. Now, for anyone else watching this video that isn't future Joel, I hope you've listened to my 30 minutes of rambling and feel inspired maybe to change the world in your own way. But that's how I'm going to change the world. And I'll see you all next time. So until then, be a bloody anomaly. Yeah, change the world, because no one else is going to do it for us. We're the ones that got to do it. Change the bloody world.